Esalen Massage is a moving meditation practice, a hands-on healing art form developed at the Esalen Institute in the 60s. And they brought in, at the time, Swedish massage. It was influenced, and they were deeply influenced by the rhythm of the Pacific Ocean. So you had those changing rhythms of the ocean. The 60s in the US were a time when people were tuning in, turning on, and dropping out of the regular world. And so this practice that required the giver to really tune in was perfect. And that's how Esalen Massage began. We begin taking a breath, very important, and before we touch, lowering our hands while we observe, watch, breath and other, breath and self, and then we make contact for a moment. Don't do anything yet. Another breath, and then we do something. Depends on who's doing the what and the what that needs to be done and the intuition, but some form of long stroke, which is where we would begin here and go all the way up and over the shoulder and down the arm and come down the torso and end up all the way at the foot. So that's the long stroke. It is a signature move of Esalen Massage. It seems easy to duplicate, replicate. Oh, I can do that. But it's not easy. It requires presence and it requires completion. Most people's attention span runs out before they get to the foot or before they get to the hand, or they might start here instead of at the foot. So, a moving meditation practice. The name Esalen is Esselen, and that is the name of a Native American tribe that lived in Monterey County on the coast of California, which is where Esalen Institute is, for 10,000 years. The name Esalen means nothing as far as massage, particularly, other than it's a brand. And it's become synonymous with a certain quality of experience. It has to do long flowing strokes, pauses, movement, moving the body, moving the limbs, moving the legs, doing certain kinds of body work that are appropriate. And then we are working closely with the autonomic nervous system, the branch of your nervous system, sympathetic, parasympathetic. This is the branch that's called the autonomic nervous system, and that we have, all of us, installed a little dog that lives up here. It's designed to keep us safe. And if something happens, that the dog wakes up, that's what our job is to keep that dog sleeping. How we work deeply into the tissues. So it has nothing to do with only light touch. We can work deeply in Esalen Massage, but we have to go slowly and be welcomed in. The tissues open and welcome us in, so it's not an attack. Well, Lomi Lomi has a lot of flowing moves that can be related to Esalen. I have honestly not had enough Lomi Lomi to speak with any intelligence. I've had some, and it was too fast. My understanding is that Lomi Lomi temple massage, the way it was started, is different. So like many brands, it goes further away from the source, it changes. Swedish, in the hands of a skilled practitioner, I had one professional massage from a very skilled Swedish practitioner, and it was wonderful. It's fast, and it moves up and down the leg or the arm like this. But she was good, and she was skilled, and I did not find it unpleasant. Would I rather have an Esalen massage? Maybe. Depends on what my outcome would be. Somatic is a newer term that was coined by Thomas Hanna, but the soma is the body, so it has something to do with practices that are different from massage, I'm going to say. Massage implies that you are touching the skin with lotion or oil. That is the intention. Right now, popular in the wellness culture in general is the work of Peter Levine, and he does somatic experiencing. And what it is at Train takes you to being able to do, and what are you aware of right now? The professional brings me back. Can you look out this window and see those emerald green rice fields? Yes. What do you experience when you see those rice fields? Calm, timeless beauty. Well, let's stick with that right now instead of whatever I was. So it's bringing someone into the present, into a positive experience. A lot of my colleagues from Esalen, one is neural somatic something, and another one is Gestalt body process, which has somatic in it somewhere. And that's where you use the tools of speaking when someone has an issue in their tissue, has an issue in the tissue that they are facilitated on the table by a skilled facilitator, a practitioner who's been trained to use the principles of Gestalt while they're receiving this session. There are many forms of somatic work right now. And in Esalen Massage, people will come take a workshop or they'll come take a training and they already have skills and they're particularly interested in blank or blank, and they'll take what they learn from us and go create their own. So, nothing wrong with that. Something else that this was true 50 years ago, I'm not sure how true it is today. There was a lot of confusion about Esalen Massage and sexuality, that it opened the doorway to sexuality, that maybe you could get complete release in a massage. We worked years to downplay that reputation, and that is reflected by how we represent ourselves professionally, by what we wear, our website, and hopefully extraordinary professional boundaries on the part of the practitioner or the teacher. It just has to be a good boundary. That is because we touch more of the skin, I think, than any other practice. And I think the moving slower, our goal is to support each person experiencing pleasure, as much pleasure as possible. And a lot of people associate the word pleasure with sexuality. But the word pleasure has a negative connotation in many countries, and it's just not a negative word. It's a wonderful word. We were designed to experience pleasure of all of our senses. Two words that became important to me as I was studying this is that we want to be sensuous. That means spirit-filled senses. So we do a lot of work with boundaries, how we teach boundaries, how we practice boundaries, so that the line is rarely crossed. Between student and teacher, between practitioner and client, we just don't do that.